Hey everyone, while I was on my hiatus, and as you can see by my lack of furniture, I moved into my new place. We're just gonna roll with it. A lot of exciting Pokemon information, leaks, and all that has come out, which I'm sure most of you have heard, but just in case, here we are. Today we're gonna be talking about Pokemon Wind and Wave, which is expected to be Gen 10, codename Project Gaia, Pokemon Legends Galar or Galarian, so I'm gonna assume it's Galar, which is Project Ringo, and then Pokemon Project Seed. But real quick, the 30th anniversary of the Pokemon Day is set for February 27th. That is the anniversary of the first Pokemon games, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green, that was released in Japan in 1996. Also, a quick PSA, if you're planning on pre-ordering a physical copy of Pokemon Pokepia, I would suggest going through the Pokemon Center because if you do so, order through the Pokemon Center, you will get a free Ditto plushie. That is while supplies last, of course. Pre-orders will continue to run until February 25th of 2026. So if you want the Ditto plush, you will probably want to act sooner rather than later. Just something to consider. Also, lastly, Secretlab and Pokemon have teamed up to bring us something rather special, but more on that after the video. Now, disclaimer, all the information here forth comes from leaks and reports discussed by outlets such as GameRant, GamesRadar, IGN, VGC, and community discussion. As of recording this, none of the information has been officially confirmed by Nintendo, Game Freak, or the Pokemon Company. As such, everything here should be treated as speculation. And with that out of the way, now for Project Gaia. The rumored title is Pokemon Wind and Wave. Now, these could just be internal working titles or code names. They're not guaranteed to be the final names. Honestly, though, I am hoping that they keep the names because I just think they're awesome. The generation and platform of Wind and Wave is believed to be Generation 10 and strongly rumored to be exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2, which would allow for higher graphic fidelity and better performance, which probably is for the best. It makes sense. Now, many agree that this would be the right move for it just to be a Switch 2 exclusive, myself included. And to be clear, I am still a Switch 1 user. I do not have a Switch 2, and even I think it would be best for the game to be an exclusive to the Switch 2. So, moving on to region and setting. It is believed to take place in a large archipelago, previously believed to be based on Greece, but now more consistent rumors point to Southeast Asia inspired regions such as Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia. I've also recently seen some leaks and posts saying that it may also include part of Australia as well, which to me sounds fucking awesome and would also open up some regional designs for Pokemon. I saw a leak of like nature elements with like for like a small water area. For a early thing, it looked pretty good, to be honest. Here's a better look at the video. As you can see, there's a Dondozen, Love Disc, and a Luminion. Now, to be clear, I'm not sure if this is an actual leak of game test footage or if this is just a fan-made thing, so take this with a grain of salt. The environmental themes are believed to be ocean travel, tropical jungle, island, reef, storm, wind, and tidal currents, hence the name Wind and Wave. The core themes are nature, movement, wind, wave, weather, heavy focus on exploration, ocean travel, gliding, sailing between islands, possible underwater zones. There's a strong hope from fans, myself included, that they will bring back classic moves like surf and dive. I mean, obviously surf to travel from island to island, and then dive would enable being able to explore underwater. Honestly, is always my favorite thing to do in video games. I mean, it was my favorite thing to do in Omega Ruby, and to have the 3D graphics and the underwater exploration, it just super exciting to me. Oh, also expanded water gameplay beyond just the routes, so more water exploration. Next, they have a new travel system, a Rotom-powered scooter or hoverboard, which honestly, what I've seen from images, it reminds me of the Back to the Future 2 hoverboard, and it also appears to have a tether between the scooter and a Pokemon. I saw like they had a Charizard, and I don't remember, there were like 2 other Pokemon attached, but I don't really remember them. But to me, the tether from the scooter to the Pokemon, to me, it looks like a fucking dog sled type thing. I don't know, maybe it's just a me thing, but yeah, it looks like a fucking dog sled. And with that raises the question of, would the speed change depending on the Pokemon pulling it? Would stats like speed versus strength matter? Say, would Garchomp, if it's in the game, be faster than something like a Shuckle or something? You get the gist. What would happen if you tether a Snorlax to the scooter? Could a Pokemon like Pidgeot make the scooter glide? If you need to get over like a mountain, would you tether like Sneasler like you did in Arceus to climb the mountain? It would be very interesting to find out how they handle the speed plus strength, or speed versus strength, and how these stats would come into play. Even like the same type of Pokemon, would say you had 2 Lucario, would one pull it faster than the other? Food for thought, I guess. And speaking of Pokemon, next up is the starters. Recently, I have seen posts, videos, and all that saying that these, I don't know where they will be on the screen, these are the starter Pokemon, but I tracked down and reached out to the artist who posted these on Reddit. The artist is Hertz Burst. Now, I reached out and confirmed that these are their original characters, that these are just fan art. Now, while these are beautifully and well designed fan art, they are just that. They're fan art. Now, there are rumors that the starter Pokemon will be like a bat or a monkey baboon type thing, but as of recording this, nothing has been confirmed on what these starters will look like. Continuing with the Pokemon, there have been references to a seed Pokemon. It is believed that the core mechanic of the Pokemon will change or evolve differently based on the environment, similar to past gimmicks like Mega Evolutions or Paradox Pokemon, that there is no final form to this, that it is shaped with several factors, including player interaction, so like the bond with a player, the environment that it is in, the growth of the Pokemon, and several other factors, that basically each player will get a specialized Pokemon that reflects the player's playing style. Again, nothing confirmed. There also have been video leaks of a petting mechanic for Pokemon. Now let's go ahead and move on to the battle system. The leaks are conflicting at best. Some say it is a return to traditional turn-based battle system. Others that it is a real-time or Legends style combat with the agile and strength thing. So whether or not if it's a traditional turn-based battle system or something like ZA where it's a real-time thing is unclear. What I think would be a best case scenario is if a player could choose and toggle between the turn-based or real-time systems. Now, I am more of a turn-based player for Pokemon. That's what I've always liked. Oddly enough, only in Pokemon. Everything else, I prefer a real-time system. But in Pokemon, I really like the turn-based for some unknown reason. That's just a me thing, so moving on. Now, Project Gaia has been described as a MMO-like thing, but not a full MMO, whatever that means. So I guess possible features would include something like a shared open-world zone, seeing other trainers in real time, maybe a co-op exploration or experience, possibly even something like Pokemon Go. They already have something like that, so maybe. Now, whether or not if it's a single-player, multiplayer, I don't know. I'm not even sure if most people would actually want a multiplayer Pokemon game if they would just prefer the standard single player thing. I mean, Scarlet Violet did kind of a multiplayer thing where you could invite friends to explore. There was also like I don't remember what they called, but they were the dungeon raid things where you could catch a Pokemon in a dungeon type. You guys know what I'm talking about, the crystal thing. And was that Scarlet Violet? No, that was Sword and Shield. You were riding a bike, so it was Sword and Shield, I think. Was there a game in between them? Okay, it was Scarlet Violet. And they are called the Terra Raid Battle. Yeah, that thing could have been that thing was multiplayer. Okay. Anyways, yeah, so maybe it'll have something like that if it's a MMO like and not a full MMO. You know, a full MMO Pokemon game I think could actually be really fucking fun. I would actually really be interested in a full MMO Pokemon game. I wonder what that would look like. That sounds awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Spend way too much time on that. Okay, let's see. Next up is pricing concerns. Now, there are some strong pricing concerns that the price will reach $80 or even higher for the base game. For me, $80 is already too high for a Nintendo game. And honestly, I think Pokemon Legends ZA should have been $50 for the Switch too. Maybe $45 seems a little too cheap. Honestly, $55 seems like, to me, is where it should have been. $70 for the base game. I mean, seriously, even if it was a Switch 2 game, it still had 2D graphics, and I don't know, maybe I'm just completely off base. Now, Wind Wave being next gen could justify a higher price, but only if the content truly matches that price tag. So I suppose only time will tell. I mean, there's no way in hell it could reach $100, could it? Just for the base game. Overall tone and takeaways. To me, Wind Wave sounds ambitious and exciting. A Southeast Asian archipelago would be refreshing and a fitting direction, I think. If it had returning classic mechanics like Surf and Dive would be a huge win. An MMO idea with a flexible battle system could actually modernize Pokemon, not that it needs modernizing. Now, the biggest risks are overpricing and overpromising features that it doesn't fully deliver, and not just a here's the launch, we'll update it as we go type, kind of like games like Cyberpunk and No Man's Sky, which I gotta give props to No Man's Sky. They have done a lot. That game looks awesome now. If you haven't checked No Man's Sky out, it might be time you had. It looks great. Same thing with Cyberpunk. They did a really good job updating it. Both of those games did a really good job updating. Now, while Wind Wave looks like the future of Pokemon, Legends Legends Galar is all about the past. Project Ringo, or Pokemon Legends Galar, is set to be 1,000 years before Sword and Shield, believed to be releasing sometime in roughly 2028 or possibly even later. Now, if it follows Legends Arceus and ZA, what we could expect is a single region focus, being Galar, with a historical or semi-historical setting, strong emphasis on exploration, lore, regional myths, with fewer gyms and a different progress system. Again, nothing has been confirmed yet, but that would be the pattern Game Freak has established. The possible time period is Old Galar, with fitting settings being such as medieval Britain vibes, a early industrial era, or even a type of feudal kingdom or kingdoms that would line up with the Sword and Shield lore of the Legend of the Darkest Day, Zacian and Zamazenta. Now, it could show like the first Darkest Day, how Dynamax started, the original heroes of Galar, and all that. Moving on to Pokeballs, since it is set roughly 1,000 years before Sword and Shield, the traditional modern Pokeballs likely wouldn't exist yet. If it follows Arceus, then we'll probably see an early handcrafted capture tool again, something stone based or maybe even rune based, something that ties the Galar lore together. But from leaked images I've seen, to me, it looks like you're going to be using a hollow rock, I guess, to genie Pokemon into a bottle or rock in this instance. Whether or not you have to craft Pokeballs, I mean, there's a high chance you will have to, but you never know. They could do something completely different. I don't know how, but all your Pokemon just tag along with you. Man, that would tear up the graphics if you caught like 300 Pokemon and they're all just tagging along with you. Now, we may see a return of Zenshia and Zamazenta and maybe even Eternatus. Maybe you help forge or awaken Eternatus, and maybe this is before Zashina and Zamazenta are even fully known. Maybe some new discoveries, sealed legends, or maybe you even cause the darkest day. That could be something. Now, gameplay expectations based on Arceus and ZA, it will be a semi-open world experience, I guess. Pokemon may be visible in the overworld, maybe even catching Pokemon without battling. I mean, obviously it would have to have a strong story focus. Now, the battle system is still unknown. If it follows Legends, it could have a agile / strong system, or it could go the path of ZA and be real time. We don't actually know what a new Pokemon game will have because of ZA. Would the Pokemon Company and Game Freak want to keep with this real-time battle system, or will they want to go back? I mean, honestly, would they really want to give up the real-time system that they built and probably have been working on for a really long time just to go back to a turn-based system? I mean, I don't know. Honestly, we could really be stuck with the real-time battle system for a while now, just so Game Freak and Pokemon Company get their money's worth out of that system. Now let's go ahead and move on to the starters. Like everything else, nothing has been confirmed, all leaks and rumors. Damn near everything is unknown. Based on previous Legend games, we will get starters from other generations with possible regional variants or special evolutions. So like in Arceus, we had Rowlet, Cyndaquil, and Oshawott. And then in ZA, we had Tonadile, I think, to pig. What was the grass one? Chikorita. Yeah, I went with Chikorita. Okay, yeah. Anyways, or did I go Tonadile? I don't remember. Crap. Anyways, nothing is confirmed about the starters. I mean, they could even have like a night-themed final evolution or a witch druid style type thing, kind of like Delphox. Or possibly even a dragon or wolf-inspired evolution. We don't know. It could be anything, actually. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the final game we're going to be talking about, Pokémon Project Seed. Project Seed is believed to be coming out around probably 2029, maybe late 2028, but probably either 2029 or later. You know, what are the chances of Project Seed actually being on a Switch 3? Again, just to be clear, there are even less leaks and rumors on Project Seed than there are about the other two games we have already talked about. So, now what is believed to be in Project Seed is a multi-region concept connecting worlds. Rumors from CenturyLinks and other related leak reports still strongly describe Pokemon Seed as a very ambitious Pokemon title that connects multiple classic regions into one continuous world, potentially letting players travel seamlessly across the regions. The regions often mentioned are Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, and Sinnoh. Rumors also suggest that you would walk from Kanto to Sinnoh. Other reports say that it is a prototyping project for an online experience, meaning that you might see more than one trainer in the world at once. A lean towards MMO-like elements rather than a traditional solo game. Now, the timeline and platform rumor for this one, Project Seed isn't believed to be releasing soon. Again, it is believed to be releasing in around 2029. Now, the consensus of whether or not it's going to be an MMO or solo game, most leaked descriptions lead towards that it being not a traditional single-player game. Now, again, everything we have talked about are unconfirmed rumors, and everything is subject to change. Now, to wrap things up, Secretlabs and Pokemon have teamed up to bring us 3 new chairs. The Pikachu chair, the Eevee chair, the Gengar chair. Prices will start at $684 US for the regular size chair and $734 for the XL size chair. There are no small sizes, unfortunately. Now, whether that price tag is worth it is up to you. I think that's just their usual base price for the chairs. They're usually, I want to say, pretty pricey, but they look pretty good, so maybe it's worth the price. I don't know. I haven't had one, so I wouldn't know. But the designs are definitely eye-catching. Now, it is unclear if they will be doing other Pokemon as well, like a starter set or a legendary set. It could be cool if they had more Pokemon later on for you to pick your favorite Pokemon. If you have one. Let's go ahead and end this there. There have been a lot of information that has come out on Pokemon, such as these 3 games we've talked about, the Secretlabs collaboration with Pokemon, the new pack update for Pokemon Pocket. There have also been a lot of leaks for non-Pokemon games like Star Wars games, Hogwarts Legacy 2, I'm pretty sure has been confirmed. We'll do videos to cover those coming up. I also have a video coming up that was a special request. It's going to be more of a long form video, so I guess look forward to that. But yeah, with all that said, that does it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see everyone in the next one.